How to get your first life coaching client. Hi, I'm Dr. Paul Jenkins. I certify positivity practitioners, including life coaches. Coaching is an exciting field to get into, but the work isn't doing the coaching. That comes pretty naturally to most coaches. The work is getting the clients. So how do you get that first client? Let's talk about a basic business model first, and then I'll directly answer where that first client is coming from. Let's get into that business plan. I've told all of the positivity practitioners that I certify that if you feel called to do this, if you really feel that it's your purpose to help people in this way, then you have to do it. It's like you can't ignore it. And either you do it as a service project on your own nickel, or we create an economic engine for the mission. That's what the business model is all about. So today I'm going to share with you your business plan in a bucket. In fact, there's 3 buckets. These are your potential clients. They live out there in the world somewhere. Bucket number 1 represents all the people in the world who know about you. They know you exist. They know something about you and what you do. Do these people know about you? If they do, they go into bucket 1. Bucket 2 represents all of the people in this world who know you, like you, and trust you. So notice this is a little smaller group of people. That represents bucket 2. Bucket 3 are the people who are paying the bills. These are your clients and customers. Now let's talk about the arrows leading into each of those buckets. We get people into bucket 1 through marketing. Marketing can be done in a number of different ways. We might have a podcast, for example, where people learn about us and they come into bucket 1 because they heard our podcast. We might have a YouTube channel like this one. How did you know that I exist? Because you see me here on YouTube. You're in my bucket 1. People can come in that way as well. Are you a speaker? Do you give presentations? That's a great way for people to know that you exist. How about networking? Sometimes you'll go to a networking event or you'll connect with other people in events. Great way to get people into bucket 1. One of the best ways that's often overlooked is referral. Getting people who already know you, like you, and trust you or have worked with you in bucket 3 to put more people into bucket 1. That's a great way to add. And there's so many other potential marketing channels like social media or other ways to connect with people and let them know that you exist. Now, how do we get people from bucket 1 into bucket 2? This is what we call lead capture. So the people who already know about you and that you exist that are in bucket 1, we're going to give them an opportunity to come into bucket 2. This is where on your podcast or your YouTube channel or whatever marketing channels you're using, you actually offer people something for free. And they get that in exchange for their email address and their contact information. We call that an opt-in or a lead capture. So a few people are going to come over here from bucket 1 into bucket 2. Let's say that you're a guest on someone else's podcast and you have an opportunity to offer your free book to that audience. Well, they're going to jump right over from bucket 1 into bucket 2. As they receive that free offer from you, now we're moving some folks over to bucket 2. Now they know you, they like you, and they trust you. They're following what you're doing. Let's grab a few more just for good measure. Now you'll notice there's not nearly as many people in bucket 2 as there are in bucket 1. And that's exactly as it should be. That's why we always want to be marketing and filling bucket 1 and then giving those people an opportunity to opt in and to come over to bucket 2. Now, how do we get them into bucket 3? You'll notice the sign here says sales. That's how we fill bucket 3, by making an offer. Not everybody's going to want our offer, but who's going to purchase your product or your service? Well, it's people in bucket 2, the people who already know you, like you, and trust you are going to come over to bucket 3. Not everybody. And you'll notice there's some attrition. A lot of people in bucket 1. Fewer, but still quite a few in bucket 2. Only a few or a handful in bucket 3. I don't share that with you to discourage you. I want you to understand that to get your first client, you're going to have people who know about you. And from those people, you're going to have someone who knows you, likes you, and trusts you enough to accept your offer and jump into bucket 3. So now that you understand your business plan in a bucket, let's see how we're going to get that first client. Where is your first client? In bucket 1? Maybe. If they're in bucket 1, then we want to move them into bucket 2 because they're the ones who are actually going to accept your offer and come into bucket 3. So what I want you to do is go to bucket 2. Find who's in bucket 2 and make your offer. What this looks like, wherever you are right now, whatever your bucket 2 looks like, go to them and make your offer. Are you ready to courageously ask them if they're ready for your product or service? Make your offer. Some people are hesitant to do this. They don't want to bother the people in bucket 2. They don't want to come across as salesy. And I get it. You don't want to be salesy. But people really want to buy. They just don't want to be sold. So go to your bucket 2, whatever that looks like for you right now, and make your offer. And it might sound like, hey folks, did you know that I am offering this? And you put it out there in a way that they can, if they choose, jump into bucket 3. And it might only be one of them. Well, there's your first client. Maybe this one is going to stay in bucket 2 for now. That's okay. Remember, refusal is not the same thing as rejection. Sometimes they're not ready for it. But make your offer. That might be where they come from. Here's one other thing that you can do immediately to get that first client. In addition to making your offer, you're going to ask your bucket 2 for referrals. Here's what it sounds like. Who do you know? Use that question with bucket 2. Who do you know who would appreciate this, who would like that, who might be interested in what I'm offering? Because even if the people in bucket 2 are not quite ready to buy themselves, they might know someone who is ready. And when you ask them directly for referrals, that may well be where your first client comes from. Because you're here watching this video, I know you're probably on a journey right now as you build your life coaching practice. I would be happy to help you with that. In fact, there is a quiz available. This quiz will help you to get clarity on 7 crucial considerations that every coach needs to consider as they establish their practice. Go to the URL on the screen, drpauljenkins.com/practitioner quiz. When you complete this quiz, I'll provide the summary for you that shows you exactly where you are and what you might want to do next in that journey. Honored to be on your team. Let's do this.